dog. There was this guy I knew. He was from the hood we came from, and he was all right most of the time. He was just fun, you know. But he got blow, and this one time he just went insane. So basically, we see this guy around, and he ain't really shit to nobody or nothing. So he gets it one day. He has like 20 keys or something. He thinks he's the king of shit. And we're just like, dude, we've seen this 100 times. Just stop. And he thinks he runs shit. He's the king. And we're just like, nah, stop. You gotta be small. Everybody that's small make it. You don't. And he don't get it. He's the king of the shit. So like, check it out. I'm like, here we are in the middle of this, shit. And he's like, look, how about you see what I see once, and maybe we see some way we see, and therefore we all see a new way. So here we are. This fucking idiot. You understand what I'm saying? He sold it to Lee. Lee is a guy we don't know. Lee is the worst one of all of us that we knew, and he runs away. Literally, it's not a figure. So look. When we went to see what Lee was up to, he wasn't there, and we knew what had happened. He stole it all, and we go, okay, no, I'm out. He goes, well, I got get the money back, and we look around and go, well, what are we doing here? He's like, oh, this is it. What do you mean this is it? He says, this is you. This is what you were. I said, what are you talking about? He says, you were the ones that took it now, because Lee's gonna give me the money back a new way, and I'm done with you. And we're like, we didn't even involve ourselves in this. You didn't take a dime from us. We didn't take a dime from you. He says, it doesn't matter. You're going to be the ones that are this now. I said, no, I ain't. So what we're seeing is this guy's trying to play some fast hit and run shit with the pigs or something off rip. And we go, we ain't it. So we all get together and we make a record of it. And it's a joke, and the whole thing is just us clowning. So anyways, we hide it naturally. We hide it in the cellar. And we go through it, and we go like, yeah, it's everything's straight. And when this actually came up, we were like, wow, glad we did that. So check this out. This guy actually comes before a judge and says that we stole him from him. And when we're brought in on felonious charges for regular shit we up to, he's like, oh, well, it looks like you did this, and now I'm gonna have to pass you out. This is a different sort of a synonym than most of us see in the States. It's something unique to the South. We know what this is. Now, look, we ain't do nothing to nobody. We said we didn't cut no fingers off, we didn't poke no eyes out, we didn't do none of that shit. Listen, what are we being charged with, literally? He says, oh, well, Lee has been a very good boy, and we don't see a way you see. And we don't see when you see a way. And he said, look at this. And he says, here's what I see. You guys steal it. You know, we're like, well, that's not even us. Are you blind? We're right in front of you. That's not who we were. He goes, oh, it's not. You're right. Damn. So he's looking around like he lost a fucking bet or something. He goes, well, never mind. You're all free on your own recognizance. All the charges against you dropped because they're felonious now. He goes, well, what if I want to press charges? Can I see the filing? And the guy's looking around like his hands are tense and shit. And nobody knows what the fuck is he up to right now. Like something was crawling around in his body. So anyways, we call this guy Poppy for no reason. We just like, oh yeah, Poppy, yeah. So anyways, so we walk out of there like fuck boy, and everybody knew what was going on when the shit finally hit. So we're just chilling around, and now we have warrants. And we go, well, we got warrants for it. We all go and turn ourselves in at the same time. They take us into a holding cell and try to interrogate us, but it's not like a regular interrogation. This guy's just trying to talk shit without we. And I'm like, okay, I get what the issue is. They're trying to talk over me. And I go, okay, I got it. So they have the synonym going, and we're going to be a part of it, and they're going to take us down, and that we're going to pay for somebody else's crime. He goes, yeah. Okay, so here's what's happening. We're in this thing. This thing's going on. We have this record, and we know we can beat this. So we're like, okay, let's go through, and then we'll file a countersuit, and we'll take him. He's like, I don't want to do a year in county. I'm going to lose this, and lose my kid, and just lose all this stuff. I like what I got right now. He's like, look, well, we're into this shit now. It's all because when we met up with that guy. He's like, yeah, well, this ain't going the way I expected it to. I ain't going to flip out. They're just mad about it. And they're like, yeah, okay, well, we'll see who go flip. Now, anyways, it wasn't the end of the story, but basically this is the hour of decay, and this is what is known to happen throughout the drug community over a period of time. So basically, we're all in the joint for a year, and he actually flips, just like we all thought he would never do. So, anyways, we watch him do it. You understand it's the one who's a Negro and it has to be like this, and the good Lord, Early Kyler, and all this other stuff's going on. Well, what the fuck actually happened? So, when we get released, there's no trial. And we go, okay, well, what the fuck were we in prison for? We go back home, there's nothing there. And we're like, yeah, Lee just got us. That's all that happened. So we go to see Pop. We say, Lee stole everything from our houses while you locked us up. This guy literally flips out. He says, how dare you accuse me of these things? And he has us taken out in handcuffs, and we're let go in the lobby. He's like, yeah, he's been going crazy. We don't know what to do. He's dumb. So they got rid of him. So, but he's still there. Anyways, so Poppy's still there even though they get rid of him. I don't know what's happening. So, anyways, we go to this one new guy's house, and we see what's up with him. He's like, oh, yeah, I can put anybody on. I have so much, this and that. I'm like, do you know Lee? And this guy literally flips out, too. Lee, who the fuck is Lee? You don't ask me nothing. I'm the king of shit. You understand this? No matter what, you listen to what I say. So we leave right away. This is Lee. And everybody's like, okay, well, what the fuck is happening? So what happens really is we figure out that now Lee is trying to own this community in some way. So what we do is we go outside and we go up the hill and we go into a backyard and basically we go, okay, well, what do we do now? We're so far away from it. We make sure no one knew where we were. And we said, okay, what about the record? It appears the black guy had stolen the record. And we go, okay, well, we have backups. So we go and get a backup. And we put this over here. We say, let's make another place each of us has it. And we go, okay. So now there's like 4 records out there. We're just too many records. And I was like, no, there ain't. We're going to be fine. So what happens is we know they end up getting the record some way already. This is what's been bugging everybody. It's like we had this premonition of what would happen next, and then it happened. And it was always a bad premonition. That's why we always say, always have a positive outlook. But this is happening to us as it's happening. And this is something we didn't foresee. We heard about this on the Pork Day TV and all this other shit. But what the fuck is happening to us? And we wanted to know what was happening. So anyways, when we get home, Poppy is now around a new guy named Play-Doh. And Play-Doh, for whatever reason, looks like a retard. And we get it. Sometimes that's the way it is. We heard Che had a retarded son that looks like him or something. So everybody's sort of taking a step back, like, oh wow, have we really hit the big time now? So anybody we know is just like, nah. But we're like, okay, we're willing to take a shot right now. So this guy in particular has more than anyone. And we're like, okay, well, something's changing around here. And then we thought about, like, what if he took all of our stuff and now he's just presenting this? This is the fall we take. He goes, okay, that's it. That's what's going on. And so ever since then, we've been standing back in this back room. We're waiting for someone to come forward with anything on it. And that's what we see. Got some characters here. If you know any way we see this, can you please tell us a way we see so we can see some way we see when we see it? We don't know what's happening, so if you could help, that would be wonderful. We don't really have anything to pay with at this time. We're kind of screwed up the creek backwards as we see it, but there's no way to see what we see. So if you can help us with this in any way, we would like to see some way you see, and we would like an external FBI investigation and everything. We don't know what to see for these things anymore because we don't know the way we see it. And he says, and this isn't what we see it, because we are mostly like a white way Early Kyler sees, and he don't see us anymore now. He said, I don't know what to do anymore. They say Jeanette took power away from he, and now we are going to fall. He said, but it wasn't like that. He has no interest in being on a faction side, and he made it clear, and these guys will not listen to it. They demand to be on his side, and he on theirs. And he was the only one that didn't, and he knew that that was what the issue was. And he went, okay, well, something's going on here after all. These ones are too stupid. He's too smart, and they knew exactly who it was. You see, and that's what's been big on somebody else, is because the vampires are always too stupid. And everybody knew that that was exactly it, and this is exactly what they've all been going through. They can see the clever one is the only one that doesn't see what they see. And they knew that that was what was happening because it never went the vampire way it usually did. Well, our guy got out. So we're walking around, we see this Negro we know, and we go, see, what's up with what's his face we used to see? He's like, I don't know, I heard he got shot and killed or something, but we don't know. So now all of a sudden they don't know nothing. So we go, okay, this is getting worse. Now it's Leanne that one. We go around and we check with everyone, we want to see what's happening. My man, he called me to see what we got up to the other day. And he was reaching for the exact information we were looking for. We go, okay. So now we're running a disinformation campaign. And this is starting to get kind of serious because we don't really do these lies all the time, like we see these guys like Jeanette do. So we're wondering what exactly is happening, and this is kind of the state of life we live in. We've been working on this for so long. We tried to get this together, and the one guy took us up, and we made this game as a record, and we have this set up just in case. And we've been waiting for these guys to fuck with us and just do this other shit or whatever. We didn't take no blow. We didn't do no thing. All they did was walk us into a house that was empty and said some shit. I've heard about this Vixen Wedge thing, and then we know what this is too. But we don't understand what's happening out here. There's too much street lore, and we aren't trying to figure this all out. We don't give a fuck about nobody. So all this stuff is happening right now. We're trying to figure out where we stand in the center of things. And so we're looking around, and we're like, well, who are we? And we're like, we're just the guys that we know. And he said, do we have any Atridius or any of these things riding on who we are? He goes, yeah, I have that one thing back in the back country, and it says that if I am ever at sea or something, they can make it so I'm not some way they see it. And that was what that was. And he said, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll ask my grandpa if we got anything going on. It's usually for one of these things, because they're crazy that way, because they're trying to make it look like something else, like it was a vampire. He goes, okay, well, that's fine. I believe this bullshit. And so he's getting mad and walking off. So now we don't know what's happening. So now they're slowly picking us apart over time, and that's basically how the system works. I know it was going to end like this no matter what anyways. We have another one. This is about the same stuff. But we've been up to lately, and how these new characters are, and it's just our story. There's nothing really else to see. And the Negroes, once again, MIA to it. You see. So, no matter what, we're trying to hook this up. We have a new thing, and hopefully this will get us some money in the meantime. We have a new one coming up. It's just a regular thing. You would see it already coming. This is exactly what we see. We try to make the game fun, and this is all like our stuff, and we see it. This is the way we see. I went to school, and I know how to do these things. I can't code perfectly like they do. My shit's so basic. It's like basic, and I know what it means. So, going back in time here, I'm just like, yeah, I wish I had paid attention better in school and not involved in this drugs stuff. But it's a little bit too late now to see it. Okay, basically, let me jump up here. We saw this way where we see the ones who we were aren't the way they were, and we don't see this way, and they were the only ones who knew who we were, and we don't see it. And this way is the only one we knew, and we see a way we don't see it. Our Father says we can't pay anyone anymore. This is what we saw. This is not the way we see it, and this is what we do. A B D D D D D D D D D D E. This is a R. This is a P. Look, what I think is that if you the first thing you need to do is not hire a private detective. All you have to do is go into a private detective's office and make a statement. It takes about an hour. Make a statement. He'll file it. That's what they do. If they get a hit, it's called a locantament. You understand what I'm saying? This isn't a case or anything. If they get a hit that there's something else just like this out there, this is how they put their fingers and toes out there sometimes. They'll see it right away, and they'll go, oh, they're over here now. And now you will get a survivor's bonus or something like that from it. That's one thing. Another thing you can do is file a countersuit, but if there's no suit in progress, which I assume there's not, there's just bullshit flying over your head, like a monkey in the middle type situation, yeah, okay. I know exactly what's happening. He is making it so you have recombinant twelvitations in quobity. This is something the English observed in the 1800s. If you're doing exceedingly well, the system fights you 2 times, right? People know how to make it so it triggers. That's basically all they do, is they just keep triggering the system to fuck you. The AI, basically, to keep you in line. What you want to do is fall down. Falling down is always good. If you skateboard or something, go out and skateboard a little bit and fall down a few times. Try a trick you don't know, and it's a way to trick the system. There's other ways, but I mean let's just start there. Let's go with the light route, and you can fall down rollerblading or something. Now you haven't done that well. See, you keep a really good track record, and you don't break a pot or a pan or a glass for 5 years. When you think about it, you have almost a flawless delivery. Do you understand? Okay, well, when you think about them stars on, Uber or something like that, right? It's probably based around that system in some way. People always give 5 stars just because they got there safe. Probably. If you can figure this thing out and the other thing out, you're gonna be in a different zone. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's gonna shift your perceptions basically. The third thing I can say is start a tree climbing and cutting service. They've told me this works 9 times out of 10. You get a truck, you start cleaning up people's lawns. All of a sudden, everything that was before is very far away. It has to come to you an extra 10 feet. That's what somebody told me. And they don't like traveling. It can't go that far, basically. Now it's trying to jump over 2 hoops to get to you. And that's another third one. If don't go out to sea. That's one of the things. Don't go out very far if you're going out to sea, or get there fast and overnight. They say this is how tragedy strikes you. And then, see, that's how I know for sure. You know, Shutter Island. They say if you go to Shutter Island, it reverses it in some way. But I don't know what the fuck that means. And that's all I can think of right now. Or you go down Snake Way, but Snake Way's not open yet.